of course we have like things like Boy Scouts or sports, typical male environments or male extracurriculars. But is there equivalent to a male finishing school for men who have to learn how to become the breadwinner or the protector or the leader of the household, as opposed to a finishing school for women?
I have not heard of one, no, but that is a really good business idea. Maybe
Right.
you could start one. No,
Hey.
but I mean, I'd say that there's a lot of mentors out there, like great mentors. A lot of the guys in this space are fantastic mentors. But no, there isn't a particular school. But I do know that Andrew Tate
Mm,
and those guys, they have different types of, I think, courses and schools, but I think
right.
it's their main in person. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's their main in person.
Hustlers University, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that one's the one or if it's the one up from there. I'm not sure, but that's where
Hmm.
they learn the table manners and they do all of those things. That's what I'm hearing. He's hiring people in for that. So I'd say that's the next best thing for men.
Definitely. I mean, and the military gets a lot of flack, but it's somewhat comparable in terms of the environment that you might enter, where you're housed with 50 men from all around the country, Americans, but you have some from Puerto Rico, what have you, which technically are Americans as well. But like you'll come in contact with people that are from different countries who are not citizens but are still able to join the military under certain provisions, and you're able to quickly, and you're going to have to if you're going to swim, but you have to learn how to work together immediately. And I think that's something that's slept on in men. And it's the value of having such red pill communities, that we're able to realize that all these problems that you've been going through since high school, middle school, they're pretty much universal. You're not the only person experiencing this, dealing with women, what have you, and a lot of the different characteristics and traits of said women. It's not a soul, such a unique experience. No, it's pretty universal. People around the world are dealing with very similar issues. It's not going to go away just because we ignore it, but talking about it, getting out in the open, and actually discussing these ideas, I think is very important. It's necessary, and obviously, creating radicalized, bipolarized, bipartisan, you know, sides of the aisle, that doesn't work in politics. It tends not to work anywhere else, where we just have radical feminists and you got the men that don't want to have anything. You get the incels and black pillars and what have you, or the male feminists, all in this category. It's interesting how no matter what we try to decide on, we all just end up getting split into two sides of the aisle anyway. You have all the red pillars, you got all the blue pillars, and it's just back and forth. But
Mhm.
hopefully we get more. And I do think it's a great idea to have like a male finishing school where they make you pick up a power tool, you push lawnmower, like the things that a lot of us millennials and Gen Xers, like, we grew up just going outside and playing. A lot of those traits are kind of lost in today's generation, just
Mhm.
because video games and cell phones and the internet has kind of taken people away from a lot of their primal instincts. So
Yeah, I'm just wondering how that would like sort of ruin a man's confidence as well, because probably when I'm guessing when you were a kid, is your mom would say, "Oh yeah, you can go out and play," and you'd have to go and knock on someone's door that had just moved in and say, "Hey,
right.
like I live down the road. Do you want to play some ball or whatever it is that you
Hmm.
guys do?" Could you imagine now asking like a 16-year-old to go and do that?
Right.
I
The
mean, A,
anxiety.
that wouldn't happen, and B, the parent wouldn't allow it because it's
Right.
all, oh, you don't know who's at the door, all that wokey
Right.
stuff. So,
Facts. I mean, and there's a level of danger nowadays, but I think the internet has us so close. I mean, you're across the ocean, and yet we met today and we're speaking today at length. But yeah, we can't go next door to meet people in person. I feel like I think that's kind of the issue, and that might be the foundation of a lot of issues we're having, especially in dating relationships, where if we can't go next door to just knock and say, "Hello, my name is the following. I would like to be your friend, please." And for some people, that's just cringe and anxiety inducing. It's interesting dynamic that across the ocean. If I know we have similar belief systems, I'm like, all right, we're still gonna find the things that I disagree with, or we're gonna try to find things to stay on opposing sides and argue the issues. But as far as a person around the world I can get along with almost immediately versus the person next door, I think that's a major issue. And I think before we go addressing a lot of these universal concepts, just being human is probably a great place to start. As far as, can I approach a woman out in public, just cold approach, and know how to hold and maintain a quality conversation where I ask questions, she asks questions, I ask follow questions, like just engaging on a basic level. I don't know why that's such a difficult thing, but apparently it is.
Yeah, I think it's really important for men to do that,
Mhm.
actually, to approach women. I mean, it's something that used to happen a lot more than it does now. A lot of men used to, you'd see it all the time. It's normal. I think that as a woman, if you're approached by a guy, it gives him like 1,000 more points than any type of like dating app
Right.
because he's already confident and you've already met him and felt his energy in person.
Facts.
He's already like the foot's in the door. You know, it's the dating apps. Women don't really like those, from what I hear anyway.